40.
From the state has a troubling secret.
Fox 6 investigator Brian Polson joins us now and shows us the basic requirement nearly 24 of the school's teachers are failing to meet.
Brad and Stephanie, Milwaukee College Prep is an MPS charter school, and just like other public schools, its teachers are required to have a teaching license. But 5 months after a parent first complained to the state, we found many of the school's teachers still don't have a valid teaching credential. To say that Anthony Staten has his students engaged would be an understatement.
It's nice. We have these kids in this building that are doing amazing things.
Staten is a 5th grade teacher at 38th Street School.
Give me some hands. What were those 2 numbers that we found called?
One of 4 Northside Elementary charter schools that operate under the name Milwaukee College Prep.
Data shows, and we know, that the single biggest criteria of whether a child's going to be successful in a classroom is the quality of that teacher.
Robert Rao is CEO of the 4-campus system with more than 2,000 students.
A sweater is regularly $32. It is 25% off.
Who are taught by more than 130 teachers, program aides, and paraprofessionals.
That's our mission, to make sure that we have highly qualified teachers in every classroom.
Judging by state report cards, all 4 of Milwaukee College Prep schools are going far beyond expectations. More than 96% of the students are black, and roughly 70% come from economically disadvantaged homes. So while test scores still lag behind statewide averages, the growth in scores, high attendance, and low dropout rates have earned the schools 5 out of 5 stars from DPI.
I think that indicates that, we're about helping children be their best.
What the report cards don't show is how the schools are struggling to fill classrooms with teachers who are properly licensed.
Finding great teachers is a challenge. Finding great certified teachers is a greater challenge.
It is illegal to teach in a charter school and not have a license.
Lakeisha Howard is a single mother of 3.
You want to get your little sheet so I can sign it for school tomorrow?
Who used to send her kids to Milwaukee College Prep.
You left it at school?
2 years ago, she discovered that her daughter's teacher did not have a teaching license.
They gave me an explanation, and the reason was they had a teacher that was going on maternity leave, and they just didn't have another teacher to fill the role. So that was okay, so I accepted that.
But then she says it happened again.
So I just decided to look them all up.
She pulled staff names off the school's website and ran each one through the Department of Public Instruction's license lookup database. Many came back with no license found. So she reported her findings to DPI last spring and then waited.
They normally move very fast. They were not answering any of my questions.
She first notified the state in May, then asked for updates in September. DPI responded that the teacher licensing team was extremely busy.
They're either licensed or they're not.
It's not out of the ordinary for somebody to say over the summer or at late spring, come look at this. We don't get a chance to do it until the school year actually starts.
Tom McCarvey is a spokesman for DPI.
We are working with our license holders and the administrators of these schools to try to get those people licensed if they are not licensed.
A Fox 6 investigation confirms nearly 24 educators, 22 teachers, and 1 principal are working at Milwaukee College Prep this year who do not have a valid teaching credential.
I'll be
They have to
damned.
have this done by the end of the first semester, or what?
That would be the goal. Depending on circumstances, there is no uniform model of how this is done.
You got to realize there is a shortage of teachers in the city.
Rao says there are several explanations for the unlicensed staff, from teachers who just moved here from out of state to those taking part in recruitment programs like Teach for America. But one of the biggest obstacles, he says, is the state's rigorous certification exam known as the Praxis.
Yep.
It's a challenging test.
I took it 7 times.
Naya
Yep.
Foster struggled to get past the Praxis.
Because I'm not a great test taker. I have huge anxiety.
She eventually persevered and is now the school's dean of students.
So I struggled as well. I took it 3 times.
She helps budding teachers like Anthony Staten to get over the hurdle.
A test does not justify what you can do in a classroom.
It disproportionately impacts the number of teachers of color you can get.
The department has been hearing those sorts of stories for a while now.
And that's why the state has developed a series of alternative paths to teacher certification based on proficiency in a subject rather than a test score.
We need to be much more proactive.
Rao says they have more than a dozen teachers pursuing those alternatives right now.
I want to see more kids who look like me walk across the stage.
Mr. Staten has been a lead 5th grade teacher for the last 3 years, but he still does not have a license. He finally passed the praxis, but because of unpaid student loans, says he's still having trouble getting his college transcripts.
We're closing the achievement gap, and I'm a teacher that doesn't currently hold a full-blown license right now.
Did your friend ride the bus today?
Lakeisha Howard says rules are rules, and she thinks parents deserve more transparency.
If you want to send your children to a school where the teacher is not licensed, that's your choice, but you deserve to know.
As we said, Anthony Staten has been working without a license for the past 3 years, but Milwaukee College Prep says there has been a certified teacher in the classroom with him. And just this week, Staten posted on his Facebook page that his college tuition bill is now paid for, so he will finally be able to get his teaching license. As for Lakeisha Howard, the person who brought this complaint to us, she used to operate a private choice school that was shut down by the state because of accreditation issues. Howard says her school's history has nothing to do with this current complaint, but she admits DPI knows her well.
So, Brian, is this just a problem?